Okay, so the first thing you'll notice after you've looked at the little letter that we've written you, I'll just read that out for you because there's some really good reminders in there. Dear years 9 and 10, this week we're trying something new for the English department in the way we teach you. And we've created a series of videos to talk you through how to achieve really well with this work. Please let us know how this goes for you in terms of a learning tool. And since the videos will go through most of the answers to each question, the level of challenge for you this week is to write your answers against the clock. Timing is really important in this exam. I will say more about that later on. But continuing with the letter, by now you know about how to locate and retrieve questions, you know how to do impressions questions, how does the writer questions, we sometimes call those the writer's craft questions. And you've also done some work on questions that ask you about how a piece might be structured for mood and atmosphere. So you might have come across words like tension or excitement or drama, so they need doing in a specific way. We're following that pattern again this week, but we're adding the timings in that you need to try to stick to because you will have had so much help with the answers. The answers will almost be written for you. You won't have much thinking to do there. So it's a really good opportunity to time yourself against the clock, and we're going to use the exam timings. So just finishing off the letter that you'll see on Google Classroom, it says, we know that you live in a generation of young people who are very used to YouTube and interacting with videos through like buttons and comments. Please be aware that we do expect you to be polite in the way that you respond. If you do have constructive feedback, that's absolutely fine. If there are things that I can do on the videos to help you learn better, then please explain that to me. I'm just learning the editing stuff on my computer, on the editing suite, so it might clunk a bit here and there. I'm going to do my best for you. But if you find it easy to work with the video, then show your appreciation, give it a thumbs up, you know, great stuff in the comments. You know, let's share that love and respect and kindness as we do at Blackburn Central High School. So the letter recommends that you divide the work into your daily doses so that your brain has time to digest the learning. And each day shouldn't really take more time than half hour maximum. Now in actual fact it might well take you a little bit less. Depends how you're going to do this. You can stop the video after each section and I'll say where it's suitable to stop. You can then go and do the timed piece and then you can come back on the following day and pick the video up. Or some of you, I know you like to kind of crunch through the whole of the work in one go, giving yourself that feeling of what it's like to be in the exam. So, you know, feel free, do it as you think is best for you. Loads of luck, and the deadline is usually Friday to hand it in. If your teacher's told you something different, then follow their instructions. Okay, so that's what the pack tells you at first. We've been through it together here. Okay, so whenever you come into an English language paper 1 section A exam and you're familiarising yourself with the paper itself, before you read the extract, you're going to find that there is a little bit of help about what that extract's about. It'll just contextualize it a little bit for you. They're really careful. It's not going to offer you much help, but it might just offer you the key into the passage itself, particularly given the passage that you're doing this week is from a novel that is set in the future and some strange things that are not familiar to us in the world that we live in might be happening. Okay, so you'll see on in bold print on Google Classroom or on your printed sheet, it says the extracts taken from the beginning of the novel. The novel is set in the future where the lead character, Winston Smith, lives under a government that attempts to mind control to keep power over its citizens. So that will really put you into that mindset that, oh, hang on a minute, this is a government that isn't like our government. This is about an attempt to mind control to keep power. So it's a futuristic setting. So I'm prepared that there's going to be some things that sound a little bit alien to me. Okay, right. So let's move on then. The best thing to do, we don't read the extract before we attempt a question. In this exam, you don't have time, I promise you. So you go straight to question 1, you find out the parameters for that, and in this case it says read paragraphs 1 and 2. So you draw a box around paragraphs 1 and 2, or at the very least a little frame in the top left hand corner and the bottom right hand corner to frame up paragraphs 1 and 2 for you. Okay, so do that now. And then the question that we're going to be investigating is list 5 things we learn about victory mansions in this part of the text. So we're looking for details about victory mansions. Okay, and it's worth 5. Now, our recommendation, the tips that you're told, you list 7 if there are 7 there, so that if you get one wrong early doors, or sometimes the exam board don't have quite the mark scheme we think they're going to have and the fact might be missing. So please, 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 just overlist if you can. 7's a really good number to then get your maximum marks for 5. So we're looking for a list of things that we learn about victory mansions. Okay, so the first thing we do, I'm a big fan of underlining, not highlighting but underlining, because it's quicker and it doesn't clutter up the text for the time you get to question 5. So get yourself a pencil or a pen, and we're going to go through and we're going to just practice this. Now, the best way to do this is for you to have a little bit of time. I would suggest about 3 minutes for you to just underline 5 to 7 things that we learn about victory mansions. Okay, so pause me, set yourself a timer for 3 minutes and go and do your underlining. Okay, I'll see you on the other side.